Guys, welcome to Easy Learning Economics. I am Dr. Kaval. After having been discussed the GDP, GNP, NNP, personal income, personal disposable income, now we are going to learn that what is the nominal GDP, what is real GDP, and what is the difference between nominal and real GDP, and what is GDP deflator. So in this lecture we shall learn that what is nominal GDP, what is real GDP, what is GDP deflator, and what are those formulas which we can use to calculate the nominal GDP and real GDP. That what is nominal GDP? As we know that GDP is the money value of all finished goods and services produced in a country during a period of 1 year. So it means the nominal GDP means the GDP without adjustment for inflation, or GDP unadjusted for inflation. So nominal GDP is the measurement of GDP at current market price. When total output is measured at current price or existing price is nominal GDP. It does not require any adjustment for inflation, and it is the gauge to measure consumer purchasing power. Nominal GDP is generally higher because of increase in inflation. Nominal GDP could lead to misleading results that economy has achieved significant growth, but actually this was the jump in general level of price. Nominal GDP is the market value of all final goods and services produced in an economy during period of 1 year. Nominal values can be changed due to shift in the quantity and price. Increase in nominal GDP in general is the indicator of rise in general level of price. Nominal GDP can increase due to rise in production or rise in the general level of price. Then we calculate the inflation or to capture the change in production. What is real GDP? GDP after adjustment for inflation or adjusted GDP is called real GDP. It means this is the measurement of GDP at base or constant market price. Under real GDP, total output is measured at base year price to reflect the changes in real output. So what is the base year? The base year is the year with which prices for other years are compared. The real GDP is the more accurate measure of changes in production level from one period to another period. The real GDP shows countries increase output after adjustment for inflation. What is the formula to calculate the real GDP? Real GDP is equal to ratio of nominal GDP to GDP deflator. What is GDP deflator? GDP deflator is measure of inflation where GDP deflator is equal to 1 plus inflation rate. Dividing the nominal GDP by GDP deflator and multiplying with 100 will give the real GDP, hence deflating nominal into real measure. GDP deflator is a gauge to measure inflation because it measures the changes in the price of all goods and services produced domestically during a period of 1 year. Whereas CPI means the consumer price index is measure the changes in price of goods and services bought by the consumer, household and governments. GDP deflator helps to compare the real economic activities from one period to another period. GDP deflator in the base year is always equal to 100. It is very difficult to calculate the GDP deflator because it requires price and quantity of thousands of products produced every year. GDP deflator is the ratio of nominal GDP to real GDP multiplied by 100. So GDP deflator explains that what portion of nominal GDP has risen due to rise in production and what portion of nominal GDP has increased due to increase in price. GDP deflator, it tells that how much GDP has been deflated from the base year. GDP deflator measures the impact of inflation on GDP in the economy during a period of 1 fiscal year. And GDP deflator compares the economic performances, and this is used to making investment decision and government policy purposes. So what are those formulas? So the formula for GDP deflator is the ratio of nominal GDP to real GDP multiplied by 100. The nominal GDP is equals to the GDP deflator multiplied by real GDP divided by 100, and real GDP is equal to nominal GDP divided by GDP deflator. I hope it would be clear to all of you. Please let me know your feedback in comment box. And if you are not watched my video on GDP, GNP, NNP and how to calculate the GDP, so you can watch. The links are given in description. Thanks for watching.